Hey everyone, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my stories. Thanks for the support. I overheard the paramedic say her name before I even caught sight of her, but it was the expression on his face that made my gut twist. It was a blend of sympathy, tension, and something he obviously didn't want to spell out to a spouse waiting in the corridor at 2:17 a.m. Sir, your wife is doing okay now, he told me. But there's something important you need to hear. Those words hit me like ice running through my veins. Right then, I had no clue that the hours ahead would shatter every assumption I'd made about loyalty, affection, and the partner I'd spent 10 years creating a future with. I never could have guessed that the reality hidden behind that divider would hit me so hard that, months down the line, sharing it here would still hurt like pouring out my soul. But let's go back to that point when I truly thought she was faithful to me alone. I'd been sound asleep when the hospital phone call woke me up. The screen glowed in the darkness, throwing off that harsh blue light that usually signals trouble. "Is this Alex Thompson?" the voice on the line asked. "Yeah," I replied, my throat tight. "This is Riverside General Hospital. Your wife has been admitted." My wife? What's going on? I pressed, fear building fast. They refused to explain over the phone, just insisted I get there right away. I raced along deserted roads, everything outside strangely silent except for the thumping in my chest. She'd mentioned staying late at the office, saying her group faced an unexpected crunch. I'd even messaged her near midnight to see how she was, and she sent back a heart emoji, saying she'd be back soon. I held onto that little text like it meant everything, not realizing how empty it actually was. When I got to the emergency room, the receptionist wore the exact same awkward expression the paramedic had shown soon after. Sympathy mixed with reluctance, as if I was the one person who least deserved this news, yet the one who had to know it most. "She's in Bay 8, she said quietly. "There's already somebody with her." Those words landed wrong. Somebody keeping company with my wife at 2 a.m. I pulled back the curtain and stopped dead in my tracks. There she lay on the gurney, looking drained and colorless, with a guy I didn't know sitting right by her side. The second I stepped in, he jumped to his feet, shame written all over him like a flashing sign. "My wife, Sarah," I muttered. "Oh no," she murmured. "Alex, hold on. Who's this guy?" My words came out shaky, more than I'd admit. At first, neither said a thing. The quiet hung thick and overwhelming. Eventually, the man broke it. "I ought to leave." "No," I shot back. "You don't go anywhere. Somebody better tell me why my wife is hooked up here with you right beside her." Sarah put her shaking hands over her face. When she lowered them, her eyes were bloodshot. From hurt, tiredness, or remorse, I couldn't say, but I felt the sting anyway. The revelation was on its way, and I wasn't prepared. Just then, the doctor walked in. He scanned the room and picked up on the strain instantly. "Mr. Thompson," he said to me, "your wife had a serious allergic response, bad enough to affect her breathing." I stared, stunned. "Allergic to what?" "She never had allergies." The doctor paused, and in that hesitation, the gravity crushed me further. She'd been puzzled about the trigger herself, noting she'd lately grown sensitive to latex. The issues kicked in shortly afterward, and he trailed off, but the meaning clicked for me already. Latex. And right there, a part of me ripped open gradually, agonizingly, like a string pulled from deep inside. The guy said softly, "I had no idea she was allergic." "Neither did she," I replied flatly. I just glared at him. "So, you too were." Sarah burst into sobs. "Alex, I'm really sorry. I never thought this would happen." "You never thought what?" I demanded. "Never thought you'd land in the ER, or never thought I'd catch on." The doctor smartly excused himself once the health discussion ended, stranding the three of us in a quiet that felt sharp and icy. "How long?" I asked, my tone barely holding. "Alex, please. How long?" Her body slumped. 5 months. It struck like a punch. 5 months. 5 months of deception. 5 months of her arriving home late with reasons that seemed totally normal. I let out one sharp, harsh laugh. "And now you're here after reacting while you were together." She winced at my directness. This wasn't how it was meant to go. I felt alone. You seem checked out. Work was tough, and he paid attention, and now you're blaming me. I'm not blaming you, she said quietly. I wasn't clear-headed. I turned to the guy. You got a wife? He shook his head. No. And I didn't know she was married at the start. Once I learned, I wanted to stop. She said it was messy. Sarah hit her face again. I screwed up. I screwed up big time. I wanted to shout, smash things, destroy whatever I could, but nothing like that surfaced. Just this crushing pressure in my chest. You were with him, I said calmly. And they rang me, your husband, to rush over and help. The cruel twist stung. I was the one who sped here. I was the one who still cared, while she was the one who'd wrecked everything. She kept saying sorry again and again, as if saying it more could mend the damage she'd done over months. But deep down, something in me had already broken for good. I'm relieved you're all right, I told her gently. I mean that. But we're through. Her crying intensified. Alex, please. We can work this out. I can. No. You had 5 months to consider your choices. I didn't even have 5 seconds. The guy kept his eyes on the ground, weighed down by his own regret. But he wasn't my problem. He'd made no vows to me. She had. I'll pick up your stuff tomorrow, I said. Stay with him. Stay with whoever. I can't stay with somebody who breaks me and acts like it was unintentional. As I headed out, she weakly grabbed for me. Alex, don't head home by yourself tonight. I paused just long enough to reply. I've been by myself for months. I just hadn't seen it. Then I left the ER. The automatic doors parted like they were clearing space for a new version of me I hadn't met yet. One who'd never return to the man I used to be. If you've stuck around this long, thank you for hearing me out. This was tough to tell back then. It's still tough today. But maybe somebody watching needs the reminder. Heartbreak won't end you. Being betrayed won't ruin you forever.